It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Fallen Brewing Company, and this is a can of their Big Raspberry Dog Chew. This is a 10% ABV salted caramel and raspberry milk stout. 440 milliliter can. Without further ado then, the beer is available at topofthehopsbeer.co.uk. There's a link in the description box of this video for topofthehopsbeer.co.uk. Let's get it out into a glass, see what we get. A little bit of smoke on the can opening, beer in the glass. This is going to be one of these dessert stouts, and I'd just like to say straight away, before I even get into the review, smell it, taste it, look at it, although I am a 100% independent beer reviewer, there's still certain styles that I really like, and there's some variations of a style which I'm not really a fan of. So what I'm trying to say is, traditional Russian Imperial Stout, loads of oats, loads of mouthfeel. Yeah, I'm all over that. I'm all over that. I do struggle a little bit, as you guys know watching. I do struggle a little bit with these kind of adjuncty, ice cream concentrated, infused beers with loads of lactose. So if this is this in the glass, then I apologise in advance. But I'm only giving you my honest opinion. You can make up your own mind. If you prefer a sweet dessert stout, then you'll probably like this. If you're more of a traditionalist in terms of stouts, where they're more dry, they're more spicy, they got more mouthfeel, well, more of a, it's not a lactosey mouthfeel, it's more of an oaty mouthfeel, which is a completely different mouthfeel for me. Then I think you should make up your own minds with this beer review. That's what I'm saying. So jet black beer in the glass, one finger white head. I'm all for innovation. I am all for innovation. I really am. But you like stuff and you don't like stuff in life. Let's get the aroma. One finger tan coloured head. Smells okay. Smells okay. Lovely raspberry flavour. You definitely pick up the roasted malts, which impresses me. Touch of vanilla, touch of cocoa, touch of coffee. Never judge a book by its cover. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Licorice, salty licorice, it's quite carbonated. You can feel that carbonation pushing the beer on the inside of the mouth. It's quite hissy and fizzy. You definitely get quite a lot of raspberry in there. So raspberry, salted, licorice, toffee, biscuit malts, touch of coffee, touch of caramel, touch of bitter dark chocolate. For me, and this just seems like a theme. it seems like a theme with these beers. First of all, let's get the good bit out of the way. The good bit about this beer is the fact that they have not added lactose. At least I cannot taste any lactose in this beer. This, for me personally, would be a complete nightmare if it was full of, absolutely chock full of raspberry flavour and lactose. That would be like, oh. But thankfully, there's a touch of raspberry and there's no lactose. On the flip side of that, I just wish the brewers, when they brew these styles of beer, if they added loads of oats, to this beer and made a big, thick, creamy mouthfeel, like the Norwegians do or the Swedish do with their beers, this would be fabulous. Trust me, this would be fabulous if you crammed this full of oats, made it really creamy. The licorice would work better. There would be less carbonation. It would be less hissy and fizzy. The raspberry flavour would work. Don't get me wrong. It's still a good beer. This is just feedback. All this is feedback to whoever might be watching this video. It has, I mean, if you rock the beer back and forth, I mean, look at it. It looks great. It's definitely tipping towards, I mean, it's not extreme. It's not like banking down on an air of it. It's not like overly sweet. It's not really kind of chock full of sweetness. It's not doing this. It's more like a steady lean towards being a sweeter stout. And that's good. That's really good, because that gives a balance. It gives a balance with that bitterness on the back end. It gives a balance with that bitter dark chocolate and that caramel and that coffee and the raspberry and the licorice. I'm really conflicted. At this very point, I'm really conflicted in my rating. I don't know what I'm going to give, because on one hand, this beer could be right up there with one of the best beers in the world if they slammed a load of oat in there and made it big and thick and creamy. And the fact that it's not too sweet puts a smile on my face as well. Because you do wonder, I'm going to say right now, you do wonder, when you get these big sweet dessert stouts, you do think, how many like calories is in this beer? How you know, it's almost as if you're going to go to bed after drinking one and wake up 4 stone heavier. Some of the really sweet dessert stouts. Thankfully, this isn't one of them. It's nice. The more I'm drinking it, the more I'm tasting it, the more I'm enjoying it, the more I'm getting through them levels, them layers of flavour. I'm now picking up touches of vanilla, more cocoa, cacao. It's a really interesting brew. It really is. I mean, I'm not going to mess about with you. I went into the beer review thinking, oh, big raspberry dog chew. I was thinking, oh man, this is going to be one of those massive dessert stouts. But honestly, if you could look past that name, if you could not judge a book by its cover, then this really is something very, very interesting. This is a very, very interesting beer that I think if they added a load of oats, I mean, it says oats on the side of the can. I mean, double that or triple that, and then barrel age it. Poof. You've got a monster. You've got a monster of a beer here. Based on our much loved Choo Choo. This is a Twisted Imperial cousin. First conceived with the help of Brewdog in Glasgow. This has a luxurious and decadent feel, amplified by a generous squeeze of fresh raspberry, resulting in a layered and complex big stout. Fallen Brewing Company. I'm ready to rate it. It looks good. It does look good. It smells good. It smells like a dessert stout. That was like, ooh. But actually tasting it, yeah, it's alright. It's alright. That was one of the most interesting, thought productive beer reviews I've done in a long time, where I've actually really had to really engage my brain. 8 minutes into this beer review, I had no idea what kind of rating I was going to give this beer, but the more I tasted the beer, the more I enjoyed the beer. And I like that, because that was a real challenge. That was a real challenge. I like that enough to give it an 8 out of 10. It's an 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.